I can't hear anything. Check, check.
There we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pew, 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 pew. We are back and we are live. What's up, pod people? We are Dirty 30. It's our Dirty 30. And like most 30-year-olds, I'll be coughing after I take that big hit of delicious legal substance. All right, guys, we are back, man. And we have got a heck of a show for you tonight. It is going to be awesome. Man, I am fresh off the Sunday night show with Shane Cashman, who was just on Timcast last night. Couple million people watched him and tuned into him there. Few thousand tuned in, watched him Sunday night with us. That's available on the channel. Make sure you check it out. And right now, we are live on X. We are live on Rumble. We are live on YouTube. And we are doing it large and we are doing it live. And without any further ado, I want to bring in who I consider to be my co-host, but a very special guest already. You know him and you love him. Saved my ass at the Grifties. Saved my ass on the daily. No Diddy. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But he's the man with the plan, doing all he can. Give it up for your friend and mine, Mr. Reef. Pew, 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 pew.
What's good? What's going on, Mike? How we doing, people out there? This is my Barry White voice today. Deep and sexual tonight. Pause.
Thanks for matching the energy. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for matching the energy, man.
I'm going to bring it down again. I don't know, bro. You threw me off course with the emphysema cough there.
Well, no, it was because I'm old. Anyway.
Coal mines, Mike. All those years.
Clearly, you look at me and you think coal miner. Speaking of old, my birthday is Wednesday, bro.
Wow, happy birthday. What do we got
Wednesday.
planned? What are we doing?
Man, you want to know the truth, dog? I got a good workout set up in the morning, and like last year, I want to be left alone for my birthday. So tomorrow, on my birthday. My wife is chill. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Just nobody. Literally just nobody. I'm gonna get the 20-piece wings. And fried rice from the 20-piece wing and fried rice shop by my house. It's delicious. I got I still haven't seen Top Gun. Shame
The
on
new
me.
one?
I haven't seen John Wick 4. Shame on me. I don't have
Well, you
time to
gotta,
watch
you
the
got some
movies.
homework to do
Yeah.
now.
So I got some movies I think I'm gonna watch, and nobody's gonna be mad at me. You know what I mean? From about 3 o'clock on, I'm just gonna be unavailable unless you're dying, and that's all that is. So yeah, man, and that's what I want for my birthday. That's what I'm getting for my birthday, and that's a win for me.
Nothing wrong with
So
that.
there you go.
I grew up not celebrating birthdays. My father was old school Albanian. Like birthdays were like, what do you
Is
mean
that not something
birthday?
you do in the Albanian culture?
No, it was just
Legit?
like, yeah. I
Are
don't know
you
if it's
April
Albanian
fooling me?
culture. No,
Are you
that was yesterday. Plus, April Fools gets me so angry anyway. It's one of those days where
Stupid.
their jokes think they're cute. It just doesn't work for me. But my father it was like, I think it was more like a Muslim thing. It just birthdays weren't that big of a deal. So
Dang.
as we got older in life, like I just didn't care. The 30th birthday, I dated this chick that for her 30th birthday, me and her were dating for like 2 years. She worked at Express, this clothing store Express.
Yes.
She worked there. She got me a used bottle of sample cologne and then an IOU that she'll buy me a watch later. Never happened. That was my 30th birthday present.
Wait. She got you a sample bottle. So
Bro,
she
the
stole
one
it.
that everyone uses.
Because you legally can't sell it. Yeah, no, here's the deal of it.
Yeah.
You legally can't sell that, and you legally can't
Well, I
accuse
got it as a
somebody of
gift.
theft if they walk out with it. Legally, they can walk out with it. I remember
I got
working.
it with a $2 Hallmark card.
Oh, yeah. She was a $2 Hallmark card. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my gosh, bro. Man, Grifties were awesome, man. I got news today. It looks like you heard it here first, folks. The cool thing is not enough people listen for anybody to even have any idea. That's the cool part about this show right now. Real deal. Looks like Hotep Jesus, Shane Cashman, DJ Protocol headlining a tour, a little mini tour through South Carolina and Georgia in June, if I can get it all put together. So these are the talks. I've got everybody in and agreed. I think I've got all the dates set up. It's going to coincide with a Juneteenth parade in Atlanta. Yeah, so might work, might not. But right now, it's one of those, like, if you're talking about, like, okay, I got a band I'm putting together, and, we're going to see if we got the jams and can get on the road. So that's where we're at with it. But I've got all the musicians willing to get together and do it. You know what I mean? Now,
Nice.
It's working out those finite details of promotion, marketing, getting everybody playing the same tune. And speaking of doing that kind of thing, bro, I'm excited about our guest. This man is awesome. This man is sharp. This man is a veteran. This man is a hustler. He works his ass off, and he does a great job. I've seen him live, and, as a live performer, I'm a harsh judge. Right? And this guy is amazing. He does a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, our guest for tonight, he is a man. He is amazing. He is a hero to some, a friend to many, and he's about to be a friend to you. Give it up for Mr. Justin Christie. Pew, 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 pew. Pew,
Oh,
pew, pew,
come
pew.
on. Can't we have
What
a little
up?
bit more ado? Just a little bit more? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, that's I'm fresh out of ado. That's
I
all
don't
the
know
ado
whose
you
energy
get.
to match. If I don't know if I should match yours, Mike, or if I should match Reef coming in sounding like those ladies from Saturday Night Live talking about sweaty balls. Yeah, tastes great, man.
I know.
Just kidding.
That's the thing.
Bro, I came
That's
in
why he
little
makes a
harder
good.
than that.
I'm
I'm a
well, I mean,
A little hard, a little harder than sweaty balls. Yeah,
I
all
come in
good.
with calculated precision. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a tactical decision there. I loved it. It was like Call of Duty happening on screen. I'm going. I'm back.
Uh-oh. Sorry about that. We're just working on the fun stuff. Okay, rock on.
Cool.
Test.
What do you guys have going on, man?
Nothing, man. Just working here. Working for the man in the city. That's it. The big city. This month is my 22nd year working in Manhattan.
Damn.
And like, bro, it's just a madhouse now. It's like it's really become like just not a place where you want to be in there anymore. You just want to be outside of it. Yeah. I used to love the city. I'm a city guy. I grew up in Brooklyn, lived in Jersey. The city was everything. Still was.
Yeah.
And then just recently it's lost its charm. It's just too much crime, too many. It's just, you know what happened? All the people from New York left. So there's no more New Yorkers. It's all out of states. So the culture's kind of gone. You had a good art scene, you had a good like music scene, you had a good club scene. That's all gone now.
Oh, for sure.
Right now, if you go out for happy hour, it's like $15 happy hour drink. Regular drink like $26.
That is ridiculous.
And you might get punched in the head.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe walking down the street, somebody will ask you for $1 and punch you in the head. But you know what? That's the charm of New York City.
Yeah, man. I was watching another podcast
like a
the other
good time.
day. Yeah, Reef was in another podcast the other day in the chat, and they were talking about the New York subway system and how that's been in the news. And the mayor was saying that it's overall safe, and they've added 1,000 people. And I saw you drop in. I ride the system every day, the subway
It's not
system,
safe, no.
and it's not safe, right? So.
No.
I mean, like, and you're like nobody's punk. You know what I mean? You know how to fight.
no.
You're in the gym, and you're
Yeah,
like,
I'm
this
not-
shit ain't safe, man. So
The worst thing you can do when you're in there is engage with these people. You just try to not make eye contact. You keep it to yourself. But that's the problem also. Like I just said, we have like out-of-towners that don't know how to act in the city. So they're talking to the bums. They're talking to the vagrants. They think that they can reason with these people. I've seen the same bum in front of my building for the last, I don't want bum, I'll call him homeless, but whatever. He's the local bum. And he's in front of my building for the last 20 years. Same guy. He's been homeless
Wow.
for 20 years. You know, like you never, and they're crazy, but that's what you're seeing. I mean, overall, if you think about it, numbers wise, it is safe, but it's not the way it was.
I don't mind the old homeless. It's the new homeless, right?
Yeah.
Like, remember there was
Those
always
young
the one
whippersnappers.
cool, crazy old homeless guy, right? And he was
Yeah.
cool, and he gave you money.
Talk
And on
about
Friday
girls
night,
and you,
yeah, he'd be cheap beer drunk. He'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And then he was cool. You knew he was crazy, but the community kind of supported him, made sure he had, what he needed to not die. And, he had decent food on Christmas. Like, that was okay. You know what I mean? You had that guy every 5-6 blocks. Okay, that guy's going to be okay. It's the fact that there's 37 of those people now on every block that is the game changer. And then half of them don't speak English. So
Also,
anyway, moving on from that part of everything, man, let's get into it, Justin. How are
Gotta
you
love the
feeling,
homeless
Rockstar? You good? Yeah, who doesn't
Man,
love homeless?
I'm better than I deserve and just happy to be topside of the earth today, man.
Hell
100%
yeah, man. Okay, so speaking of the little news I dropped, you, my friend, let's start at the beginning. How did you get into promotion, man? Because it is like punching yourself in the face being
Well,
a promoter.
it's funny you mentioned that because I'm a lifelong martial artist, which I don't know if you've known that about me, but I'm also a retired professional MMA fighter. Fought for 15 years. Terrible record. Got my ass whooped a lot, but if either you win or you learn. So there's a lot of lessons learned over the years, and
Hey man,
because of that,
not to pause too hard, but bring your mic down. If you can bring your mic down, you're coming in a little hot on me. If you can bring your volume down a little bit on your microphone, that would be great. Sorry.
let's see what I can do here.
I don't mean to
I'm
be a
all
jerk.
phone right now. That better?
Oh, okay. Sure, man. Rock on. Yes. We love
Okay.
it. Yes.
I can also talk a little slower or a little softer as well. But yeah, I was a retired professional MMA fighter for about 15 years.
Right.
Went on to get into production, like audiovisual and lighting and film production. Started doing that stuff, and I was able to work with a promotion in Oklahoma City called Rage in the Cage back when Mike Crawford was alive, and Mike was a mentor of mine. He took me under his wing and basically taught me almost everything there is about that he knew about promotions. And I just figured out ways that we could try to improve upon that and see if we could make what he had better. And that's where I was. And then after he passed away, we parted ways with Rage in the Cage, and we're doing our own thing.
Very cool. Now, I first met you and knew you originally before I knew all of the work you do behind the scenes as a ring announcer. You are an awesome ring announcer. I love the art of ring announcing. One thing I don't know if I've shared with you this yet, man, because we haven't got to talk a lot off air yet, but I got married in April. In fact, this coming April, this month, the 22nd, in 20 days, will make my 1-year wedding anniversary. So,
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, man. It's a blessing without a doubt. But 1 year ago, when we got married, as we walked into the ceremony, and I didn't realize this till a couple of days later, she actually hired Bruce Buffer. I wish I had the audio. I'll play it sometime on the show. But she hired Bruce Buffer to do the intro for us walking into our reception, our wedding reception.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was like, ladies and gentlemen, weighing in at 175 from Midwest City, Oklahoma. You know what I mean?
Right.
The king of her heart, you know, the undisputed champion of her heart, Michael C. Hall. It was great, dude. It was
That's
amazing. Yeah, man, it was so cool. So the ring announcing is an art form. It absolutely is an art form. And it's one of those, here's the problem with it. It's a lot like promoting and being a promoter, especially a producer of an event, in that people have no idea how hard it is unless you're not absolutely perfect at it. Right? It's only when you suck at it do people realize how important it is and how you have to be somewhat good at it, right? Same thing with kind of stand-up comedy, in that it's only until you sit there and you've paid your 25, 30, 80, whatever, how many dollars, and you're sitting there and you're watching and you're not laughing and you're like, well, this guy sucks. And you know what I mean? You have no idea that there is work that goes into it. You go to a show and there's a ring announcer that's just trash and you're not excited about the next fight and you don't understand until you do that it takes talent. There's a reason that some guys get the work and some guys don't. You know, it's one of those everybody thinks they can do it till they have to try to do it. So it's an art form that you're very skilled at, is what I'm trying to say here. And tell me, how did you get into that? How did you get into? Tell us a little bit about that and you, and because clearly you know a lot about that. So yeah.
The funny thing about that is, and ironically, I never wanted to be a ring announcer. Like, I was never on my radar.
Fair.
Like,
Do we have a sample of this ring announcing? Do we have something we can pull up here for?
I don't know. You might could find
hear it. You're so soft spoken right now. I can only imagine how the ring announcing is.
If you have,
I actually, I have a method behind the madness on that stuff. Is I look at ring announcing, and I do it way different than literally any other ring announcer, because I'm a man who wears many hats. So whenever we were doing ring announcing for Rage in the Cage, I also owned the production company that broadcasted Rage in the Cage onto Fight TV, now Trailer TV. And what we would do is my sister would run the front of the house production part, and I would direct the show from the center of the cage. And it turned out to be the way that I shaped it and formatted this was I was kind of a ringmaster of a circus. Hence why I call myself the ringmaster of ceremonies instead of just an MC and master of ceremonies. I kind of combined the two gimmicks on that. And whenever I did the ring announcing, I played characters. So I had 3 characters that I ended up playing whenever I did those. It started off doing weigh-in ceremonies. And if you ever watch like a UFC weigh-in ceremony from like, the mid 2000s on, you got Joe Rogan basically announcing the weigh-ins and bringing on the fighters and stuff. So I would take on a Joe Rogan esque voice, and I can't do Joe Rogan's voice, but it's my weird imitation of it, and I'd get that raspy, "We're coming to the stage, yeah," that whole thing, and they would come in and do that. We'd play music, make a whole little weigh-in ceremony out of it, and then whenever we're in the cage, through trial and error, we found out that a lot of fighters didn't understand when their cue was to walk, because most promotions have somebody, bringing the fighters up to the walkout area and letting them know when to go. Well, we were dealing with a whole bunch of people that weren't exactly experienced in this, in like the production side of it. Like we would have stage managers in the entertainment industry. We need something like that in the MMA world, and my promotion has that now. But back then they didn't have it. So in lieu of doing that, I made a cue for the fighter to walk out, and I would give them like a pre-introduction. And I would take a character kind of like the Price is Right announcer, come on down, you're the next contestant, that type of thing. And that would give the DJ a cue to cue their music for the walkout. They would know to start walking out. And then once both fighters got in there, I would tap into my inner Bruce Buffer. and a whole nother character and give them the big fight feel. And that's where that's how I pieced that together.
It's like a beautiful symphony over there.
Yeah,
Starts with
it's
Rogan, goes
it's all
into
characters.
Price is Right. Which Price? What's his name? The old Price is Right host, Bob Barker.
Bob
Barker,
Barker.
yeah.
Bob Barker, and finish up with Bruce Buffer.
Well,
And Rob
I
Roddy.
wasn't doing the Bob Barker. It was Rod Roddy. That's who
Rob Roddy.
I was
All
trying
right.
to imitate. Yeah.
He was awesome. So, how did you? I know you said you worked with Rage in the Cage, and that's kind of how you got into MMA. But clearly, man, no one does promotion and gets into the promotion side of anything without love, right?
Well,
You gotta
I was in
love it.
MMA long before I ever dealt with Rage in the Cage. I've been, like I
Right.
said, I was a lifelong martial artist. I did MMA all over the country before I even moved here to Oklahoma.
Very cool.
But we're doing ring announcing with Rage in the Cage. I fought for them back at Rage 36, and that was an interesting experience.
I think
That
I
was
went
back
to
when
one
they
in
had it in the
Atlantic
Chameleon.
City, if I'm not mistaken. I went to a Rage
Yeah.
in the Cage in Atlantic City, if I'm not mistaken.
There's several Rage in the Cage promotions in different states, and they all have to be LLC'd as a different name.
Mhm.
I fought for Rage in the Cage OKC LLC, and after Mike died, his sister took over the promotion, and she had to rename the LLC as Rage in the Cage Oklahoma, and for her own reasons. But there's a Rage in the Cage out in Arizona as well, in Phoenix, and there's a Rage in the Cage in Atlantic City, and I think there's also one in New York as well. I just got linked up with, been talking with those guys.
How many fighters do you have in your circuit?
Ah, man, it's a regional thing. So like
Uh-huh.
the thing about regional MMA is almost like independent pro wrestling. Nobody's actually signed to a company. You
Mhm.
just pick and choose whoever is wanting to fight, and they basically apply to fight for you. They sign a contract, so they're locked in. Per like different contractual obligations, you can put in there that they can't compete for anybody else 30 days prior. That way you don't risk
Yeah,
them getting injured or whatever.
you'll get a broken product.
hmm And I like to make sure that we can promote them properly and
Absolutely, yeah.
really introduce the audience to our fighters. So we like this event coming up on April 20th, man. We've got a huge roster of incredible jiu-jitsu athletes. So it's going to be phenomenal. We have 2 UFC veterans fighting on the card.
Nice. Who do you have?
We have J.C. Cottrell. He fought in the UFC. Well, I
Yeah,
say
I
2
know.
UFC and Bellator veterans. I know Manny Murrow. He fought in Bellator,
Mhm.
and these guys are going to be part of our 5-on-5 team versus team submission only survival match on
Nice.
different teams. It'll be
It's
fun.
like the old Survivor Series.
That's kind of the way I was looking
Yeah.
at it. Except they're not going to be all in the same or in the cage at the same time. It all starts off 1-on-1, and it's basically a loser leaves the mat scenario, like a gauntlet
Yeah.
match. And whoever taps loses. Winner stays on, and they just keep rotating in until they're down to the
I think I
last
saw
man.
something like that
they
in
win.
in like Europe, or was it Russia or Uzbekistan? One of those guys.
Japan.
They have. Yeah, I've seen it overseas where they have
Yep.
that gauntlet style.
This
Almost
is
like
going to be the
wrestling,
first
like
time in the United States that we have it. So we're doing
Oh.
something a little bit revolutionary for the United States, and we're branding similar rules, a few different rule changes to kind of Americanize it for one, and kind of make it our own. Like the stuff in Japan, they don't allow heel hooks. We're going to allow heel hooks because the only people that can compete in these matches are purple belt and above.
Yeah.
So they have to have experience. Yeah.
Purple belt is the heel hook.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
We're not going to allow them to slam in ours because we don't want to risk them like getting unconscious from a knockout or something. We want to protect our fighters.
So strictly
I mean,
jujitsu.
Strictly jiu-jitsu for this April 20th event, but it's like I said, it's going to be an incredible team versus team submission match. We got 4 teams competing. After the first rounds, the winners from both teams will compete against each other for the championship, and we'll win that, and it's going to be fun.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Oh, what else do you have coming up? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is that the main event? The Survivor Series segment? Oh, great.
Yeah, the submission wars match. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
We have several individual matches as well in super matches that we have scheduled. We got some black belt matches, brown belt matches, blue belt matches, purple belt matches. We even have opened it up to a youth kids match. Give them girls an opportunity to compete inside of an MMA cage. So it's going to be fun.
That's pretty awesome. Roughly how many people go to these?
We're expecting to sell this one out. We're going to be at capacity, I think, about 600 people.
That's wonderful.
Before we have to turn people away. We purposely chose a smaller venue because one, this is our first event back since rebranding the company. I used to be Oklahoma Kickboxing Championships, and we specialized in kickboxing. We were doing that in 2021. I had to take a break from that, and we came back and we rebranded it to Oklahoma Combat Championships. Kept the K, kind of like Mortal Kombat, but I wanted to keep the OKC on it as well. Yeah, there's our fight poster. We got Team Vibe, Team Factory, Team American Elite, and Team AMA, Academy of Martial Arts. It's going to be fun.
Is it broadcasting anywhere?
Yeah, we're going to be broadcasting on Triller TV. Our prelims are going to be on Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. All simultaneously. Yeah.
So ticketstorm.com right now, you got the QR code up as well. Clearly
click
there's going to be
now.
Yeah, click on that mofo right now. As you can see here, in addition to that, you're going to have a lot of local guys represented. And Justin, something I think that's very important to keep in mind is how valuable it is that what these guys do. You go into these gyms, there's a lot of troubled youth, right? There's a lot of guys out there that wouldn't be doing what they do, and probably be in a lot of trouble, without these gyms. You know what I mean? So I just appreciate that. I appreciate what you guys are doing there. I appreciate the work you put in because once again, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So, and you guys are going to be, where's the venue going to be?
It's going to be at the Hawthorne, bottom right. The Hawthorne Inn and Suites and off of Meridian in Oklahoma City.
Cool. Good folks over there.
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, I wasn't a huge fan of the venue from some of the other events that we've done with some other clients that we've worked with. It's kind of in a rougher area for the most part, but I'll tell you what, the people that operate the venue, the hotel, just hearts of gold, man. Like especially in the hotel business, actually seeing people that truly care about the people that come in. It's not just like, that they do hospitality professionally. These guys have hospitality at their heart. So like, there's a big difference in that. You get those chain, a lot of those chain hotels and whatnot. You don't get that like personal touch. Dealing with the managers there, they legitimately care about people that come through, and I felt obligated in a way, like compelled even, to make sure I hosted an event there because of all the cool stuff they were able to do with us.
Pretty dope. It's good
I'm
when you
a
get a
loyal
venue
guy,
like
man.
that, man. That's all it
I'm
is.
a
Loyalty.
super loyal guy.
It's a lifestyle, loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand that when you say, they think it's just something to say, but loyalty, you just live that way. You either do or you don't,
100%.
There's no in between. There's a lot of guys that pretend and say they're loyal, but they don't know what really is because nobody's been loyal to them,
True.
So when you either are loyal, you said you were a military guy?
No, I'm not a military guy.
Oh, I thought he said military guy. I thought
no, he said
guy.
veteran.
Veteran, yeah.
He
I
used the
thought
B word.
veteran.
A true veteran of the industry, a veteran.
I've been through some shit, but I'm not a military veteran. I will never ever claim to have been a military veteran.
All right, no, that's good.
Like I don't want to take that from the folks that earned that legitimately.
No, it's all good.
Absolutely fair enough. So, speaking of fighting, let's have a little fun here. Who do you love right now? Who are you loving? Let's start out with everybody, people everybody would know. Go down the list, right? Like, give me your top 5 people, men or women, fighting from UFC all the way down to maybe a local or regional promotion that people need to check out that they may not know. And Reef, I want you to hit me with the same.
Oh, UFC fighters, man. I've really liked the folks from Kazakhstan right now. Like those guys are
Those guys are
incredible from
monsters.
Kazakhstan or whatever.
Yeah, wherever they are, they're from over there.
These guys are insane. They wrestle bears.
Bro, think about that. They're raised to kill Russians. You know, that's how crazy they are. You know, they're raised to kill bears and Russians. That's it. That's what they're raised on.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, those guys are just absolutely incredible. I'm kind of the old school guy. I've been watching UFC since they were bare knuckle, in the '90s. So they had no.
I still remember that.
mixed
Like I still
martial
remember
arts.
leaving elementary school, going to watch the paper because remember it ran all day the first UFC,
Mhm.
and you would be able to catch like 6 fights. It was like one after the other, and it ran from like 11 in the morning till Eastern time till like 9 at night, 10 at night.
It was an all-day tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, and those guys
Incredible.
fought back to back sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
That was nuts.
Yeah, man, I think that's we missed that tough wrestler thing. You know what I mean? Remember wrestling and you had to just freaking wrestle, and you go on a wrestling weekend and you'd have to wrestle 2 or 3 matches Friday night. You'd have to wrestle all day Saturday. You'd wrestle in the morning Sunday, and then you'd get in the freaking van and go home. So yeah,
I love wrestling, man. I wrestled for 11 years throughout my school days. Matter of fact, I chartered a wrestling team in Tennessee back when I was in high school. They didn't have a wrestling team when I showed up, and I made sure they did. We got the a petition signed by several students. I found a coach for them. We went in front of the school board and got it approved. Did fundraising to get our mats over a couple of years, and it was incredible. And I left right before I graduated from that high school, so I didn't get a chance to graduate from the high school. And I come to find out years later, the wrestling program that I started was still going on. And I found out also about a month ago, they're still going on today. So I mean, it's over 20 something years that they are still going strong, and they just had 5 wrestlers go to their state championship. And
Nice.
like I was brought to tears. This is just the type of person I was, man. I was so moved. They had a video. A buddy of mine posted a video from the high school. His son was on the team too. Who he actually wrestled with me too. So it was really cool to see his legacy carried on. But these students were walking out of the school and they had everybody kind of in a line, just clapping them on, cheering them on, ready to go to the state tournament. And that just brought tears to my eyes. Oh, the phone fell.
That's very cool.
But it was weird because when we were there, like nobody gave us any kudos. Nobody gave us any flowers. We were on these little fold up like daycare mats starting off in the cafeteria. They wouldn't even let us train in the gym. So
it's like an 80s movie. Man comes to town.
It was
starts
insane.
his own wrestling team.
Yeah, it was insane. And like I went undefeated for 2 years just off of that grit.
If you guys rode bicycles, you could have totally got a movie deal in the 80s.
Oh yeah,
like wrestling.
Have one of those video montages. You're the best, the best.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever gonna keep you down.
But no, I was so proud of those guys, and they went on and performed pretty well in their state championship. And man, like I said, I was just in tears just watching that because I was so emotional of how like that's my legacy. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those folks don't even know who I am, but I know to my heart, like that's something that I impacted the world decades after I was there.
Absolutely. That is awesome, man. Anytime you're able to do something that huge, that's a wonderful thing. So you got the jiu-jitsu thing coming up, but to kind of get back to the original question, who are some fighters that you love that people would know and why?
Of all time? Can we go all time?
Sure, let's do it.
Like of all time, I think one of the people that got me interested in MMA to begin with was Ken Shamrock.
Right.
Because I used to watch pro wrestling back in the day, and I was doing martial arts. I was wrestling, and when I was a child, I really wanted to be a pro wrestler, like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, all that crap. Yeah, I mean, it was just a thing to do. And that evolved into, my dad was like, all right, if you want to be a pro wrestler, we're going to get you in wrestling. So I wrestled since I was like 5 years old. And like that evolved into, okay, I wrestle. Let me go take karate classes. I learned how to kick and punch and stuff. And then that turned into Muay Thai, and that turned into Budoshin Jiu-Jitsu, and that turned into taking some BJJ classes from some instructors that I later found out were not legitimate black belts. So that
happened a lot in New York. That happened a lot in New York. You had these fake like karate guys teaching some new like Tai Chi karate and bullshit, and they really had people believing in it. They were giving black belts to everybody.
Oh yeah, and I've recently just called out a McDojo for teaching grappling when they are not qualified for it. My daughter was taking a class over there, and they were trying to teach her some techniques, and my wife called me up one day and she's like, you got to come check this out. Something's not right. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what could be the problem. And I came in there and I watched it and I was just like, this is absurd. You're going to get these kids hurt. Like you're feeding them all this bullshit. And it's that bullshido mentality.
Bullshit technique. It's crazy.
Yeah,
you see that with boxing gyms too. They'll open up like these fitness boxing gyms and you're going there and they're teaching people how to throw punches. You're like, what are you doing? And when you know how to throw a proper punch and you see somebody throwing a punch, you're like, well, what's going on here? You're a trainer.
Right.
You know, they use these mitts, and those mitts, like they try to do these stupid rhythm training sessions with them. And it's not the same way. It's more, the mitt is more to get your technique down perfectly instead of just going fast and in rhythm. And it drives you crazy when you're like, you don't throw a hook like that, you know?
Well, they're called focus mitts for a reason. They're like, that's the drill you're supposed to work on, is how to focus your targets. And, you know, if you are taking your mitt and you're hitting the person's punches, you know, and all they're doing is this shit, they're not getting any real work.
Yeah, and you can make it look good when you start hitting them on the sides and everything.
Yeah. And it's just all the trainer doing all the work, and the fighter's just doing this shit. Like, you ever watch Floyd Mayweather? Floyd Mayweather, outstanding boxer, outstanding defensive fighter altogether. I'll give him his flowers on that. But if you ever watch his stupid ass workout videos, like the public workout videos, which I'm sure are way different than the actual workout videos, workouts he does. But that dude that's holding the mitts for him every time, he's just slapping Floyd Mayweather, and he's barely moving his damn punches. And I'm like, he don't box like that.
No, I know guys that trained with him. He was a dog in the gym, they said, nonstop. Yeah. I mean, he was.
I bet he outworks everybody.
Fighters, one of the best fighters of all time. We're up there.
But you don't get to see that, and I think part of that is strategic, because he doesn't want you to see the techniques that he actually works on. And the thing about training in the gym, that's where you fall down. That's where you make your mistakes. That, you know, when you get into the public eye, if you've done enough of that grinding in that gym, like, you're not going to be making the same mistakes in the public. So, like, he does all that and doesn't want people to actually see it, because at that point it could be exploited by a smart fighter, smart coaches. And that's why I don't think he lets people see that.
I get pissed when they start leaking these like footages of them sparring at the gym. I hate when people do that, because it's like, you don't know what the training session was about. You don't know what that guy's trying to avoid, if he's allowing people to come to the head. Like, there's so many different things that happen inside that sparring session that people are saying, oh, look, he got knocked out. Well, maybe the drill was him to not get punched and not throw back, and that's why he got knocked out. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
So these boxers will start talking shit to each other, leak that. That's personal footage. That's wrong right there. You don't do that shit. You know, you can't.
What happens in the gym should stay in the gym.
Yeah,
always. I'm a firm believer in that. Always have been. I never let people video in my gym. I would take video of my fighters that I coached back in the day, and the only reason I did that is so that my fighter that I was working with and I could watch the video back, find the holes that we were, you know, the mistakes that we're making, and then use corrective drilling. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I've been to several gyms where no phones were allowed, especially like in Hawaii with those older Asian cats. You know what I mean? That like, just no phones are allowed, period.
Oh, I keep forgetting you're from Hawaii, bro. Super Brawl. Shout out to Super Brawl back in the day.
X1 Fight, Super Brawl. Yeah, man. Phil Baroni was out there.
I met Baroni. Of course, good guy.
Yeah, man. Party animal.
What was that dude's name? Nico? Oh, God. I can't remember. It was the first time I ever saw a Superman punch. And it's like Nico Viapollo or something like that. But he was just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Brother Ray Cooper back in the day, of course, BJ Penn. Of course, I hung out with Max Holloway when he was 16 years old. here's the thing people don't know about Max. That
Fighting this
kid.
weekend.
Yeah,
Next weekend.
yeah. I'm so excited. What's funny is this is the same day as Jordan Peterson. So, and I'll be working that event. So that's really cool. But
Okay.
our production company has come quite a long way, Reef. We're getting there.
Bro,
So
somebody told me he sounded like Kermit the Frog, and I can't get over it now.
who?
Jordan
Oh,
Peterson.
absolutely he does. Absolutely he
Now
does.
that's all I see when I hear it on my headphones. I'm like, oh, there we go. It's Kermit.
If you choose to be a man.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's great. He's great. But
That's good.
yeah, dude, UFC 300 I'm very, very excited about. But yeah, I knew Maxie when he was training on a concrete outdoor like it was a concrete slab with a metal roof over it. And they had a couple of bags they had hung out there. You know what I mean? And they were rolling on concrete. And that's how he became such a good boxer, because he did not want to get taken down. I swear to God, I believe part of the reason he's so good and so fast is because when you got taken down, you got took down on concrete. And so he learned how, okay, you want to try to take me down, it's going to hurt. So, but yeah, him, oh my gosh, man, just so many great guys. I got to meet Anderson Silva out there, which is, Anderson Silva, right? Enough said.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. It was great, man. I love Hawaii. Shout out, especially because so much of the early MMA stuff came. What I love about MMA that I feel like boxing doesn't have right now is the evolution, right? So like we are starting to see, in my opinion, the tail end of the boxer, right? Because what happens is it came in and it was the wrestler grappler who was the king, because boxers and you had karate guys and judo guys and stuff like that, and they just weren't ready. And really, the only real answer became Muay Thai. When you're the master of the eight, it's and somebody tries to take you down.
Voice came through and said, "Yeah, hold my dick," and started just choking people out for like 8
Right.
years.
Well, but I'm saying directly after that became the kickboxing Muay Thai kind of era, right? And then that's evolved into the it's evolved into the kind of, I'm going to be a tank and I'm going to come in on that. And you got your guys like Strickland and Maxi and guys like that are now basically boxers, for like, you know what I mean? They're I would say 60% boxer, 15% kickboxer, right? And that's, you know what I mean? So 85% of what they do is
grapple their ass
kickboxing.
off too.
They're
world-class grapplers.
Well, dirty boxing is my favorite, man. That's why I got
watched
scars.
Frankie Edgar train. I couldn't believe the way this guy moved when he was in his prime, when he was the champ down the shore here in Jersey. I watched this guy train. The way his hands were so fast and the way he shot for a takedown, it was like watching a superhuman, like the Flash fighting. That's how quick he was. I couldn't believe this guy was so in control of his whole body the way he was. But then I was looking at a world-class champion. Like I was staring at a guy who was worldwide pound for pound at one point.
For sure.
The levels are just different.
I still remember Royce Gracie fighting Art Jimerson, the guy with the one boxing glove. You remember that?
Yeah.
That dude was a legitimate boxing champion back in the day, and he came in there and he looked like he ended up looking like a fool.
I actually watched that not too long ago. Yeah, no, it's a bad idea.
Guy from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
The boxer. But I used to watch Pride all the time when they were like, "Hey guys, we're gonna let you do all the steroids and just go ahead and fight."
Speaking of Ken Shamrock, yeah, man.
Yeah, that was like Pride in Japan. You had this one guy, I forgot his name now. The Gracies couldn't beat him for the life of him. He kept Sakuraba, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the Gracie killer, and I used to love watching. Yeah, I used to watch it on my stolen cable box over here.
Yeah, matter of fact, the guys that do the submission wrestling or the submission team versus team stuff in Japan, Sakuraba and Josh Burnett are the guys who are behind it.
Shit.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
Josh
sick.
Barnett has an event coming up soon called Bloodsport. It's like a pro wrestling event, but they go hard.
The Kumite, they go on Kumite,
basically. Kind of, it's like his 6th or 7th event or something like that, but it's incredible. They compete.
Where's it at? Where's it at?
Probably Vegas. Dungeon. Yeah, he probably does it in Vegas, but they do it in a ring with no ropes, and it's almost like a Fight Club feel the way they do it. It's incredible. And they bust people open the hard way. So it's weird. It's weird. It's pro wrestling. It's the way it's a work, but it looks like a shoot fight, and it's incredible how they pull that off.
Bro, just a couple hours west, there's an equally brutal match, tournament. It's called the All Valley, okay? And it's karate based.
Yeah. Cobra Kai, never die.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I'm so sorry. Anyway,
Russo was the champion of that,
look.
After I got laid after going to an arcade with some broad, I went and won this championship.
Yeah, pretty much. They didn't even end up together. Like, what's the point?
I drank my first beer.
Japanese trainer moved out of the way, and he got this guy to break his hand through the glass. It was a crazy night.
I'm trying to decide if I really love the Netflix show or if I just love member berries, right? Because much shit
get over the Netflix. I can't watch the whole Netflix show. It's just too goofy for me.
I
can't watch teenagers too long. Like I just like these guys. I'm getting old, becoming a grumpy old man. I think I start looking at kids. I'm like these kids.
I enjoyed it, but I related to the adults way too much. Like,
do you have kids?
Much. Yeah, I got kids, so like. I'm
over
here like, why are they letting these kids
now?
just riot with karate?
Are you in a kids' room right now? Because there's a lot of colors happening right now. I see.
No, this is my home office. I took over the room.
There's a lot of colors going on right here.
My wife, we actually inherited this house when my wife's mom passed away, and I think this is the room she grew up in. So this was like her room back in the day. I just haven't had a chance to paint it yet. After her mom died, her mom was kind of a hoarder, and
bro, the green pillowcase is still a choice.
That's actually a green screen package. Yeah, I could. That's where I keep my green screen.
Well, thanks for making it fancy for us. You know what I'm saying?
You're welcome. Yeah.
No, we'll go fuck ourselves. It's all right.
Yeah.
No, we'll go fuck off. No, we're stupid.
It's a candid view. It was either this or like I'm walking around the house or some shit. And
believe it or not, there is metrics that say
maybe next show you'll just stream live from your toilet. You know what I mean?
We had to use this medium instead of Zoom. I could blur my background in Zoom.
I read recently that these backgrounds that you guys have, the natural backgrounds, are more appealing for audiences than like a background like mine. It's just I don't have a good background right now.
See, people literally ask me, is that a green screen? I'm like, no, it's not. My life is motherfucking awesome. You're welcome. Anyway,
that pillow behind you looks like the devil reincarnated smiling at me.
Exactly. It's there's good me and bad me, bro. Come on now. Clearly that represents the other side of me. You know what I mean?
You should put another one on the other side and just keep looking over from time to time.
No, that is but that's this face though, is that. So anyway, let's not get caught up in the details. Let's not be ball breakers here. So here's the question I have for you, man. Where are you going with it? You know what I'm saying? Wait. Reef, who's your favorite fighter of all time?
All time, John Jones. All time favorite.
Well,
fighter.
yeah, fair.
Yeah, he's also not a great person, but he's just a badass. You name it, and then you look at his fights, knocking out monsters and legends as he was moving up, and those guys were at the top of the game when he was knocking them out. So it was just, there's no one even close, I don't think. But I do like Oliveira now. I like what's that kid?
Oliveira's amazing.
Herrera's fighting. It's coming up. He's a monster too. I don't like O'Malley.
Jamal Hill, isn't he?
Yeah, he's fighting Hill and that's for the title. Yeah. And then I don't like O'Malley, but he gets the job done, man. This guy just wins every fight.
Yeah, I hate saying. I almost think, man, like
I hate to say I don't like him because I don't know the guy, but it's like
I want it to be a work. Like I would rather it be a work and him not be that good than him actually be that good. Almost. Yeah. I like him.
Bo Nickel's fighting too.
Bo who?
Bo Nickel.
Oh yeah, he's on that card too. Holloway's on that card, right? He's fighting
big
Gaethje.
prospect. Yeah, for the
Holloway's
BMF
fighting Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, that's a big fight. This next UFC will be fun. So
every single fight on here could headline its own pay-per-view.
Oh, they got the Asian chicks fighting too, right? For the championship. Zhang Li, whatever her name is.
Zhang Wei Li.
Yeah,
Zhang Wei Li and Yan Zionan or whatever.
Zhang Zionan, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I want to see Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. I'm not gonna lie about that one.
The the undercard is every bit as appealing as the pay-per-view.
Every
Free
fight
ones.
could be.
I went to a UFC event, man. It was like I got in at 5. Like I was like, all right, I'm gonna go see the pre-show, and you can't leave once you get in there. So we were stuck from like 5 o'clock to 1 in the morning watching UFC fights.
Is this the one that just came through?
No, this was like a couple years back in Jersey. It was just
there was one just in Jersey. Like on Saturday night, there was one in Jersey.
That was there in Atlantic City. I didn't get to go to that one. I'm interested how that crowd did over there, because those like King of the Ring, like the local events, they do pretty well. Ring of Fire, they have the King of the Cage there. They do pretty well. The kickboxing tournaments do good there too.
King of the Cage is a franchise that you can buy into. Like if
really?
I wanted to buy into it and pay the franchise fee, I could have a King of the Cage as well. But I decided to be original and make my own.
They hate originality, bro. If there's one thing they hate in this game, it's originality. So be careful there.
That guy Makachev's a monster too, man. That guy
Islam Makhachev is a beast. Shout out to, speaking of more local guys that are making waves and coming up, want to send a shout out to a guy who's been a guest on this show, Kelvin Rayford. Kelvin Next Level Rayford. I love
Kelvin.
Yeah, he's a wonderful human being, and he just got a contract with Bare Knuckle Fight League, and they were showing him mad love, like on their promo video.
He's gonna murder people.
Yeah, he's beast. Well, thing is, the dude was like, he looks like a 220-pounder, and he's 175 with hardly any fat on him. And he's like, and he looks like he's 220. So he's a big dude. So
there are two guys from here in Oklahoma. One of them lives in Texas now, trains down there. Kelvin Rayford's one of them, and Chris Vereen is the other. And these two guys, I have no idea why they are not signed to a big promotion for big money. These guys are just the next level. They're amazing.
That Bare Knuckle League is interesting.
Oh
it's just fun to watch. I mean, these guys really crack, and they got to time their punches because they'll just break their wrist or hand at any time. So you really got to be calculated with everything you throw in that league. So it's interesting to watch those guys. You would think it's to be like old school Kimbo Slice. They're throwing like, but it's not. It's actually like precision punching. It's pretty interesting to watch. I was very surprised. I never got it. Like I was like, oh, I'm not gonna watch no backyard fight, and then I watched it. I'm like, this is competitive.
Check this out.
Who's rising above the rest?
Fair use. Kelvin is coming up. Boom, there he is right there. Next level.
Love me some Kelvin Rayford.
These guys are starting to shine now. Rayford right here has a lot of power. The guy I was talking about fighting down in Florida, I didn't realize how big he was. He's a 175-pounder. Guy was like he's 220. Next to no fat on him. He's going to be a monster. All right, good.
Yeah, son.
He is a monster.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing to see, man. That means, and then he released on his socials that he got signed. So we're going to be able to watch Kelvin, do some bare knuckle boxing soon. So
awesome.
So I know you, speaking of different forms of fighting, I know you do the jiu-jitsu. You do full-on MMA as well, correct?
Yeah. All right. So let me explain the structure of our company, because we're a little bit different than literally anybody else you're going to see. That's why we named it Combat Championships instead of kickboxing. So we started off with our kickboxing back in 2021. We're having the jiu-jitsu event here on April 20th. But the way that we're structuring it is, I'm an MMA guy, always have been, always will be. So MMA is going to be our flagship for Oklahoma Combat Championships, and we're going to put on hopefully some of the best fights you're going to see in Oklahoma, and hopefully this entire region. We're looking to have our first MMA fight in July. I'm not releasing the date yet because we're still solidifying a venue. And as you know, promoting shows, you can't tell a date unless you have a venue. So we're getting that done, but we're already putting together a fight card for it. And it's going to be incredible. We're looking to have, so let me backtrack. I'm getting ahead of myself. MMA is our flagship. We have 3 divisions for the company: MMA, kickboxing, and grappling. And I name it that way because the kickboxing is going to have 2 subdivisions of it. We're going to have K1 rules and Muay Thai rules, which we're about to announce a really cool partnership deal from the Muay Thai standpoint. That's going to be a complete whole nother level for Oklahoma that nobody has done here ever. And then our grappling, I have titled the grappling division Real Oklahoma Grappling, because I wanted to kind of make t-shirts that say Real OG and be gangsta as hell. So if you want to be a real OG, you're a hell of a grappler. That's got 3 subdivisions under that as well. Jiu-Jitsu is one of them. And we're about to introduce in August an event for submission wrestling. And that one is going to take your traditional mat wrestling, like your 6-minute matches, 2-minute periods, and we're going to combine it with submissions. So you can win, the ways you can win: pinfall, submission throughout the match, or if it goes to the time limit, we don't do judges, you win by points, just like you would in a wrestling match. The championship fights will be 5 2-minute rounds, and it'll be a legitimate wrestling match, but with submissions. And we're going to have some special rules. I'm working with some notable wrestlers who have trained in jiu-jitsu and MMA to really harness a unique rule set for this that is beneficial for wrestling-based grapplers. And we're going to make sure we have it on the off season of when people go to school and do wrestling and whatnot. That way they don't have any conflicts and they give them something else to do off season. Our 3rd division in the Real OG is we're going to be doing a Sambo and Judo hybrid. And that's going to be, I'm working with some people to really fine-tune those rules as well. So it's going to be a whole lot of standing, not a lot of super on-the-ground butt scooting jiu-jitsu. And it's going to be pretty interesting. But
my friend
MMA's our
moved
flagship.
down to OKC because he worked up here for Everlast and went down to work in OKC for Everlast. I know they opened up I think their headquarters down there. So I remember him telling me, he was like, "You got to come down here. It's the next fight capital of like the United States."
Send him my way. I'd love to talk with him. Like, we can do business.
Absolutely.
He's been there for like 15, 16 years now.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to deal with Everlast. I used to use their products back when I was training for fights because they were everywhere.
Like that classic, remember that cut off Mike Tyson with the cut off sleeves, that Everlast hoodie? That was classic. Everybody did that. When I was a kid, I cut off my hoodie. I wanted to be like Mike Tyson. Meanwhile, I'm like,
Speaking of Mike Tyson, what do y'all think about this Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight on July 20th?
I think it's gonna be a fun little sparring match. That's it. You'll get.
I agree. Also, I think it's legitimately silly that anyone would say that Do you not know what happened last time Mike Tyson was in a fight?
He got
right.
gassed.
No one remembers. Yeah, he literally finished sitting on his stool because he couldn't go anymore. And that was from
Roy Jones. He faced.
He did not. He beat Roy Jones.
Yeah, he finished that fight. The one before that, his last.
The one before that, he gassed. Yeah.
Well, he straight up told everybody that he didn't have it in his heart anymore.
Yeah. That was his after his fight to.
I forgot about the Roy Jones. My bad. I just think this is something.
That Roy Jones is kind of like a sparring.
It's match for money, and I say get
Reef,
the bag.
I like you already, buddy. You know your shit in MMA and boxing and combat sports.
Yeah. I mean,
I need to bring you out here to Oklahoma to come watch some of our shows, man.
Well, I'll definitely come out there. I'm coming down. I'm gonna do a southern tour with Mike down there one day.
We're doing Dallas. We're doing a whole thing. Yeah. Also, man, I'm just trying to get Reef here. Like, he lives in freaking New York City. There's nothing good for him there, dude. For the amount he pays for a stupid apartment and probably parking for his car, he could have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home.
Yeah,
he's a craftsman. He's a craftsman, so it's not like he can't find work. And he can find more work out here where they're building more shit, so they need more guys who understand crafts. I got the guy, Gabe with AIM Real Estate. Shout out to the homie. You know what I mean? So, it's all, legit and set up. So there's nothing good for you out there, Reef. Come on.
We were just talking about this. Me and my girl were talking about it. There's no real reason to be out here. Like, you just don't get the bang for your buck here. Like, I have a house already down the shore, but like to live closer to where I work, it's like you're looking at a 800 square foot little condo is going to cost you $500,000 now. It's not even worth. It's gotten crazy here. Rent here for 1 bedroom is like $3,000.
Dude, and Oklahoma's on the come up, dude. Like
Yeah,
we've got so much industry coming in here. Like what Mike was saying at the beginning of this, the cannabis industry, they're becoming legalized here right now. They're medical, and I think once they get federally legalized, it's going to skyrocket even more. We got the film industry here. They made Tulsa King just right down the road from where I
great
live.
show. I love
Yeah,
Tulsa.
fantastic show. We had Scorsese here. Matt Damon was here. All these top tier movie actors and producers and directors are making their stuff here, and we're going to be building a whole new Hollywood here. I've actually coined a new term for it. I call it Howdywood.
Should make T-shirts. Howdy,
Bro, producer,
like a gay
producer
porn.
for the Grifties and manager for Hotep Jesus and road booking manager for Lila Hart and several other clients I won't name right now, including Shane Cashman. I mean, that guy lives right here in Norman, Oklahoma, so he does a hell of a podcast. So anyway,
sure.
my point is.
Shazam! Playing a fucking.
I'm kidding. I'm just joking, yo. But seriously, there is a lot going on out here, and I'm saying, man, for $500,000, just so you know, Reef, if you're talking and I'm not saying you are, but if you were talking $500,000 out here, you're talking, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, double car garage on a half acre at least. Home, you know what I mean, where you're driving a 1/4 acre down a gated driveway to your house, that kind of thing, brick home, no BS kind of thing, 2-story fireplace, the whole nine. Like for 500 G's, I could get that for you like right now in a good neighborhood.
That's pretty sick.
No problem. Like
yeah, because over here
done.
it's gone, it's tapped out. I mean, I work. This is my 22nd year in the union now, so my annuity's good. I've been doing real well that way, but it's like I got another 20 years to go to retire.
I wish we had the same opportunities as the boomers did in the 70s, man. Well, the house that I'm in, this house sold for $60,000. Then
wow.
Yeah. 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
You say you got a house down the shore, man, just sell that for a couple mil and then come out here, start your own business, Reef's union.
I'm just going to go professional podcaster. That's it for now on.
That's what, dude, if you're here, we can take over the world.
Just professionally take it to the road.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're working on it, man. So it's
but
I'm kidding. We're
Justin,
good.
I grew up watching like Wide World Sports as a kid, so you watched all those Sambo fights, you watched all those like wrestling fights, and those you had what was that open one where you can slap everybody? What was the name of that? Where they wore the wrestling
Grand Prix?
Pancration.
Pancreas. Yeah.
Pancreas.
That was Pancreas.
That's where Frank Shamrock and Boss Rutan got
that's
notoriety.
Right. They allowed you to
Boss
open hand
Rutan
slap, and these guys would just slap the shit out of each other. It was
Justin,
it was basically the Japanese version of real life pro wrestling.
Yes,
the original pro wrestling rules. They weren't allowed to close their fists. That was a big thing back in like the 80s and 90s, and like it was all supposed to be open hand. But it was like if you legitimized all the pro wrestling rules minus like the originally they weren't allowed to fall out of the ring and get out of the ring or do anything out of the ring back in like the 80s and 70s and whatnot. That was like heel tactics that they used to really get people going because people were cheating, right? Because all that was a work. But if you legitimized it with the rules that they had back in the day, that's pancreas.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
What's your got to get both of your opinions on this takes. What's your thoughts on slap fights on Power Slap League?
It's entertainment.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
It's just entertainment. I had a buddy of mine who wanted to do that at my first event back in 2021 because we had an all-day spectacle event. It was like a festival of just different combat sports and entertainment. We had a rap battle tournament. We had a musical concert, and we ended it with a crescendo of epic kickboxing fights on pay-per-view. And my buddy was just like, well, we can add some more stuff to it. I'm like, I love having, whatever we can bring in. And he wanted to have a slap fighting thing. And I'm like, man, like I understand that it's something people are into a little bit, but I'm just like liability. One, I'm a businessman. Liability is a big issue. Um, Nobody sanctions it here, like so. There's no real like protection for the people involved. I didn't want to increase my insurance just because of those guys, and I honestly at the time for us, I didn't know how to market it. So like we had an opportunity to do it, and to this day, I probably won't ever do it. I think it's going to be flash in the pan type of thing, which I'm sure like 20 years down the road, it's going to be like the next UFC, but I'm going to be wrong.
I can't see
but,
that happening. You can't see it.
Yeah,
I still think it's
just kind of a niche thing.
It's very
I disagree, but I still think here's the thing about it, and I've had more than one person say the same, but I completely disagree because one, just because you're not aware of it doesn't mean it hasn't been happening. Americans do that. You as a fight guy should know this. But
I know that's been going on in Europe for a long time. The slap.
Yeah, Russia, your boys you're talking about, all the the Dagestani guys and Kazakhstani guys, Russian dudes, like slap fights are huge over there, right? So it's been going on, and then Hawaii, where I lived for quite a while, so I'm used to it. It's a thing. It's not that big of a. It's just a thing that they do. Now, so is it going to go away? No, because there's a long history of it.
But they got big money behind it too.
Now, what's the best part of it? What's the most viral? We live in a social media world. We live in a he who gets the most shares and views wins, right? Makes the most money. What's the
I'm
most?
not saying it'll go away. I feel like it's going to be.
Let me finish. What's the most viewed part of any fight? What's the most shared part of any fight?
The knockout.
Boom. Exactly. Now, what Slap Fights does is take all of the skill and the professionalism and the training and the effort and the respect and the craft all away and just delivers the most knockout bang for your buck. You're going to get the most knockouts per dollar spent versus any other art form in the world. And this to me is why jiu-jitsu, while, my favorite art form probably besides I love Muay Thai. It's just so dang violent, but I love it. But I love these things. But I'm telling you, man, these things take skill and craft and years, and to put on a show that people want to pay money for takes years and years, whereas with slap fights it doesn't. It takes a dude willing to step up and get slapped, so put down his beer, walk up and get slapped. And because it's been going on, and because it's a whole thing, and because it'll be so viral, so shared, I think that is going to lend itself to it staying around. Will it be as big as UFC? I don't think so. But I definitely think that it is going to have its place, find its place, and it's going to make money and enough money to justify its existence. And Dana White already has everything set up for it to market it.
For sure. Big money behind it. See, me, I'm different. I don't like the knockouts. That's why I like watching Mayweather. I like watching all these skilled fighters like what's his name, Morales, and like these guys, because they were so slick at their movements. Like watching Sugar Ray Leonard was like watching somebody dancing, really like putting on the Nutcracker, if you really think about it. I loved watching that, like growing up as a kid. So like the power punching was great, but for me, I love the way people set up a fight. If a guy can go 10 rounds, 11 rounds with piecing somebody up, I love that. That's
Connor,
why I like Tyson Fury. I thought Tyson Fury, the way he used to fight was beautiful. Now
that's why I was so
old,
Yeah. Well, that's why I was so glad Connor actually made a transition to boxing, so we could see more of that with him, because I think Connor is one of the best to do that in MMA. Maybe not in boxing, but in MMA he's one of the best technical boxers and strategic. Yeah, man. So I dug that. I'm with you. But you got to understand, in a viral world where I get paid for clicks and views on Twitter and you know what I mean, Instagram and whatnot, the knockout, the slap and the dude's face turns into a piece of rubber. You know what I mean? That is $1 million, and think about every time you get a good one of those equals $1 million. And think about, you're probably not even in 20 grand all in to fly these guys out and to put that show on, or at least that fight. You're not in 20 grand on that fight. You're probably in maybe a couple $100,000 for the actual show, because you're broadcasting and their editors are great. Their lighting is great. Their production is great. However, all in a couple $100,000. But if you're getting $1 million per knockout, in views and sales and pre-rolls and all of that, then you're winning.
Yeah.
You know, you put
My
on an 8 fight
professional estimate is 52,000
per.
per show.
You're saying the cost per show is 52 grand.
Yeah.
To put on. Oh no, bro. Because guys are getting 50 grand a piece to win.
Well, I mean, as far as like, I'm not talking about the talent that you book. I'm talking about to put on the show in general.
Production wise.
Right. If you win like the
Yeah.
tournament or whatever, yeah.
I think like a show we would put on with that budget
for production.
I think we could do that. Just like with the Grifties, you know what I mean? Like with our experience, we know how to put on a show that looks that level for that price. But I'm going to say with all the, I mean, you know, you're looking at a 4-camera shoot. Then you're looking at all the editors. I mean, you know, I think you've got 10 editors. Then you've got all your production people. You know what I mean? Then you've got, you know, well, they will save on the venue because they're using a pre-owned venue, so there's no actual venue cost. I mean, you're going to put one down on paper, of course. So
it'll still be very profitable no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying if you think, and let me ask you this, Justin, via social media, a company like UFC that is bringing slap fights in, and now all the sponsorship slap fights has with your primes and your monsters and your Bud Lights and your shit like that. One good slap knockout. What do you think that, you know, with the social media that Dana White will share, slap fights itself, UFC, all of that, what do you think one good knockout, one good 25-second, 30-second slap, boom, rubber face, dude falling, what do you think that's worth? To own that and to be able to share that and to monetize it, or you're on a monetized stream, a highly viewed monetized stream, what do you think that's worth?
Depends on which brand is in the shot. So,
like, which sponsors in the shot?
Yeah, which sponsors in the shot?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. This is a layered question. You're talking about, you know, with all their sponsorships and that. If you have,
I'm saying views. Take the sponsorship of them out of it, and just views alone. Meaning, the more views I get on Twitter, I get paid per Twitter activity. Right? I have a monetized YouTube channel. I have a monetized Instagram where they're going to pick the ads. You know what I mean? It's just that I'm going to get, because Slap Fights has gotten over 1 billion views. Certain knockouts and stuff like that have gotten over 1 billion views legitimately. So how much do you think, take any sponsor live there in the ring out of it and just say, I monetized a dude slapping the shit out of another dude and I'm going to get 4 million views? What do you think that's
I'm not 100% sure, man. Like, you know, $1 million at least, 2 million, 3 million.
Yeah, give or take. I mean, yeah, it's definitely going to get views. We watch it all the time when it's on Twitter. I'll stop and watch some guy get the shit slapped out of him. But I can't watch it all night.
Just don't know if you saw that, man, but before we got in trouble for doing it, we got suspended. We were doing slap fight watch parties on this very channel. So we'd watch slap fights and make fun of it because it was fun to do. It's fun to do, bro.
Did you have the audio on it? That's the problem.
Yeah. No. Well. Yeah. You say
you took
that,
the audio
but we
off
had
of that. Then
incorrect.
You got banned for the Super Bowl too, no?
Yeah. No. Because
you don't fuck with the Super Bowl.
But we had the audio of the Super Bowl off.
Banned just by mentioning it.
Yeah. No. We had the audio of the Super Bowl off. I thought I was slick in that way, and I was not slick in that way.
Yeah. Super Bowl is a whole other animal. You're not even allowed to say their name.
That's their boys. Those boys own that one.
You gotta learn the hard way. So
yeah, they got way better lawyers than all we do.
Fair enough. So, what's coming up for you, man? We're gonna wrap here. So, what's coming up for you, man? What do you got? What do you got? We know 420, Oklahoma City. Everybody needs to show up, show out.
OKC Submission Wars.
Boom. Oops. Sorry. That was not the thing to do there.
No, I'm not being.
You know,
Shout out to David Feldman, though. He puts on a hell of a damn show. Love my guy, David. Matter of fact, he's the reason why I quit my job back in 2021 and went full-time promotions. There was a tweet from him or a Facebook post from him that says the worst day of being in business for yourself is better than the best day of working for somebody else.
Completely disagree, but sure. I'm kidding.
And And
I love working for somebody who tells me what to do every day.
I was in a place in my life where that just hit me straight in the heart. So, yeah, we're looking at April 20th, OKC Submission Wars. We're going to be live on Triller TV. If you're
Trilla.
local, yeah, if you're local, get your tickets from ticketstorm.com. Pick your favorite fighter and checkout. They get commission for the ticket sales. And I'm a firm believer that at my table everybody eats. So like I want to make sure that these guys are getting some extra money with the tickets that they can bring in or whatever, because it's about them, not about me. Like me getting the money for all this stuff is just so we can keep going and keep the platform going. I can pay some bills and that's fine. Like it's just like I said, I don't want to work for anybody else. I just want to do this, but I'm not trying to get rich on my end from it. If we make it and the money comes, great. But I want to make sure that everybody eats at this table.
Yeah, great.
Speaking of that, who's this gentleman right here? Gentleman far left.
That is
the
Diego, the Peruvian Python Pichilingue.
Yeah,
he is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He owns Python Martial Arts in Oklahoma City on Northwest Expressway. He's the team captain for the Vibe. Next to him up front is Daniel.
Hold on, real fast.
Robert.
Real fast, by the way, just so people know, Diego is widely considered one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in the United States. Like Eddie Bravo, who is considered a jiu-jitsu god, has mentioned Diego before several times and talked about how good he is. So just so you know the level of guy
phenomenal
that we're talking about there. Yeah, Diego is next level beast. So yeah, you know what I mean.
Next to him, you got Daniel the Ninja Roberts, also BJJ black belt, coach of the Factory.
Love it.
That looks like Mark Zuckerberg a little bit.
They are making so much noise. People are scared to fight people coming out of the Factory right now. I know that for a
They're
fact.
insane. They're insane. Next to him, team captain for American Elite is Zevin Cheese Hunt, MMA fighter. I think he's 3-0 in MMA right now as a pro.
Beast.
He's the former Rage in the Cage welterweight champion.
And
Absolutely
just
phenomenal.
happy to kick your ass. Look how happy he is to beat you up in the face. He's going to punch you in the face.
He's got a whole energy, man.
He's got that good energy. See, he's
Shark
like,
eyes.
I punch you in the face, and I look like I punch you in the face. He's like, maybe I punch you in the face, maybe I break your arm. You don't know. And he's like, hey, how's it going? Bow. You weren't expecting that, were you? All right. Now I just won the belt. You know what I'm saying?
There's a really cool picture of him online where he's got an opponent in a crucifix and he's dropping elbows on him, and he's just smiling at the camera, just happy.
The whole time.
It was incredible. Next to him, you got Tavares Collins, black belt from Academy of Martial Arts in Oklahoma City as well.
AMA.
We've got a stacked
AMA's been
card,
represented in Bellator and a couple
UFC
of other, I can't think, but yeah,
the
AMA's
Dennis
been
brothers
represented.
fought in Glory and Bellator, and these guys are phenomenal.
Yeah, bro, that's exciting, man.
Legitimate professionals that come out of these gyms.
I definitely got to come down and see one of these events one night. Are you doing something in the summertime? You let me know. I'll definitely head out there.
Yeah, we're doing a MMA in July. I'll announce the.
Listen, I'm sitting with
date.
the ring announcer though. I'm not fucking around with the normals in the crowd. I'm sitting with you right there.
I'm not a ring announcer in my own event. I'm the promoter. I'm retiring from ring announcing once this takes off.
All right, good. I'm sitting next to you then.
You gonna hire me to ring announce for you?
There are way better people in this world than me.
Mike's got the ring announcer.
I want to do play-by-play so bad. I've set it up. I've come so close more than once because I would be so good at that. I've got the voice. I love the fighting so much. I love the fighters. I love all of it so much, and I would be freaking good at it, right? Clearly look at what I do. I have to keep this shit going. So anyway, I would be so good at it. I would, clearly be the color guy. I'd need a play-by-play guy who understands and has fought in the ring before, and it'll be beast.
Man,
I've got
you're tapping into my biggest pet peeves on local MMA doing broadcasts and stuff. It's like they pick commentators who don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, and they're all looking for that reaction and never ever letting anybody know. And whenever I train people how to do commentary, because I've done commentary myself as well, I learn, like I said, I play characters, so like I always learn from like the best to do it. I'm learning from like Jim Ross. I'm learning from Mauro Ranallo. I'm learning from these guys that know their shit, and because I'm even if I'm half as good as those, that's fantastic. So like with these guys that don't know how to narrate a fight for blind people, or like if you were trying to announce the fight on the radio, you got to let people know what they're seeing. That's your play-by-play guy. You need to know that you got an opponent that's on a ground and side control, and he's putting his knee on the belly, transitioning to a full mount, going putting the arm across the chest, trying to go for an arm bar. You got to know like how to tell that to your audience instead of, oh, he looks good, oh, he threw a punch, oh, he missed that punch. Like, it's just, what kind of punch did he throw? Like I did commentary for boxing. Like, okay, he's throwing a right cross. He's bobbing and weaving. He's moving left, trying to shuck right, trying to bait him into this trap. You got to explain to the audience as if they don't know what they're seeing themselves. And then if, for example, if somebody is watching this on a television and they go into another room, they should still be able to visualize in their head what's happening. That's my biggest pet peeve. A lot of these guys don't do. And since like we quit working with a couple of different promotions, you're seeing that happen with all these broadcasts. It's just crap anymore.
Yeah, no, that's the play-by-play and the color, and the point there is you need one guy to tell the story. So I'm emotionally involved, and one guy to give the play-by-play, so I'm mentally involved, right? I mean, I want to know if I'm not Yeah, and if I'm not watching the fight, I want to know, okay, I want to know how he's piecing it up. What's he doing? Especially with MMA, it's so much more important. Play-by-play is maybe not so much more, but so much more important, in my opinion, than boxing, right? Because in boxing, you have so many moves to do. But in MMA, what if he keeps trying for a takedown and he's just not getting it, and he's frustrated, and it's showing he keeps dropping his left, right? And so it's like he keeps dropping his left in frustration because he can't get the takedown, telegraphing that, and his opponent is clearly finding wide open for his power right, and he's not circling properly, right? So I can't say that as properly as a guy who's been in the ring and understands that in that way, but I can tell the story, right, of, you know what I mean, and he looks tired, you know what I mean, and in his corner right now, he's looking focused, unlike round 2 where he looked confused, or he looked defeated, where he was clearly trying to figure this puzzle out. Round 3, Mauro is honestly one of my favorites of all time, because if you want to do the job, if anybody were to come to me and to go, how do you do the job? I would go, listen to tapes of Mauro.
Yeah,
he's that
absolutely.
guy.
He does his homework.
And Joe, to a certain extent, because Joe loves it and trains, and that's the thing, because I train kickboxing, I train jiu-jitsu, not that I'll ever be any good at it whatsoever, but that's how you love it more and you understand what these guys are going through. If you can't,
well, I like Daniel Cormier too.
Yeah, I want to be the fighter with CTE that comes in and be like, that's right, Mike. He's going to hit him in the head, and he's really moving quick.
I hear that so much in boxing. You go over there, man, it's the sweet science. They're going to hit him in the cranium.
Yeah, and sometimes you're going to get hit, and sometimes you're not. This night,
he's a boxer, as opposed to being a puncher boxer. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, man?
That was like George Foreman used to do that all the time. He used to come in, see here, now what you seeing, he's leaving with his right hand. And he's just not, he's getting in the head so many times, not making sense.
I'm a fight nerd, man. I love watching, like for example, DC, Daniel Cormier. If he's watching a couple of guys grappling or wrestling, and you see a guy defending a takedown and he's having a hard time, DC's the one to tell you he's trying for a high crotch single leg. He's switching from an S grip to a gable grip, and explaining what that is. Just it's so cool to be able to know. Yeah, the details.
That's right. He's gonna have to hook his hand, or especially on the ground, and that's where I get totally lost. Because there's so many different names, and that's why you need somebody who understands that ground game, because it is hard, especially like if you came from watching wrestling and pay attention and doing wrestling, it's something that in your mind is a wrestling move that actually isn't. It's a jiu-jitsu move that's looking like a wrestling move, or the beginning of it is a wrestling move.
Though.
Yeah,
no, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying as somebody who would be calling a fight, you need somebody who
understands. The cool thing about it is a lot of those moves, they do a lot of the same moves in multiple sports. And I was just talking about this with somebody yesterday. The the same move can be something different in a Japanese jiu-jitsu system, called something different in Brazilian jiu-jitsu,
Exactly.
and the
Yeah.
exact same move can be something completely different in wrestling. And like a head and arm triangle has 3 different names and different ones. The Kimura lock, that was actually named after a judo black belt who broke Helio Gracie's arm in a judo versus jiu-jitsu match in a
Right.
super fight.
Well, and that's the fun thing about MMA is there are moves that we literally have named in MMA because either it was so underground when they were done before, and we've never seen them in a paid ticket holding arena, cage, and that's what's so exciting about it. And once again, man, if you're telling the story of the fighters and you're feeling them and you're understanding, and that's where a lot of good play-by-play lacks is, he's swinging a miss, swinging a miss, swinging. Why is he missing? You know what I mean? What is he missing for? Why can't he connect? You know what I mean? It's like he's set up, he's too defensive. He's scared to go. He's going too hard. He has no answer for that leg kick, that kind of thing. And that is why he keeps going. He needs to go to the body, wide open body right there. He's missing it. This is something that needs to be addressed. And you wonder if it's addressed in the corner. And so that fight becomes a story. Anyway, I'll talk about this stuff all night. My birthday's tomorrow, y'all. How you like me now?
How young are you?
Man, I'm going to be 23.
Yeah? 23, man. Yeah.
72, 4-ish. 3-9er. So, anyway.
Old enough to know better than to say it out loud.
Yeah.
That's,
he's bashful. Look at him. He's bashful.
I got to the age already where I only think about the age on my birthday, and I have to do the math. Like, okay, when was I born? Oh yeah, I'll be 40 this year. Yeah, all right, cool, man.
I'm not quite there, but I'm almost to the age that when somebody asks me how old are you going to be, I can go fuck you. That's how old. I can't wait till I'm there. I'm almost there.
I'm still 42.
At least you're not a woman. That stops at 29. Yeah. This is 29 with to the power of what,
I'm turning 42 when I feel great, bro.
Do you?
Oh, I feel great.
But should you? No, I'm kidding.
I probably shouldn't, but
man, get to Oklahoma where you can buy land and a beautiful home. What do you do? What is it exactly? What is your exact day gig over there?
I'm an operating engineer.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but yes, I'm sure they need that here. They need everything out here. It has to do with buildings, right?
Yeah. We run all the heavy equipment inside the buildings, the pumps, your condenser pumps, your chill water pumps, your boiler pumps, heat.
Oh, they need that out here.
Yeah.
Absolutely, okay. They need that stuff out here. You know what I mean? Clearly, that is a need, and that's a specialty. It's a very special, man. Just look for gigs around here. See what they got. You know what I'm saying?
When I get down there, you gotta schmooze me a little bit. You gotta show me around.
No Diddy.
No, definitely not. Only you took it that way.
Whoa. No, dude. I got you, man. You'd be amazed. Okay, so where we were in Jersey, not that different. Imagine just kind of less people, a little more spread out, maybe a little less of that, a little more of the homes, a little less of the action.
My house down the shore is a lot like that. Like I have a big backyard. I got a chicken coop down there. My parents are raising chickens down there.
Nice.
Like it's nice down there. It's just you just want to get out of this area because it's just too expensive. Taxes are like $13,000 a year going up. If you build your house up and add more square footage to it, you're looking at maybe $20,000 a year in taxes.
For sure.
Everything's expensive. There's you're not getting your bang your buck, but that's just something we can talk offline about. I go hours for that. It's boring.
They're banging you for your buck. That's what they're doing.
But hey, I produce a real estate podcast, baby, so I'm right in the zone. But here's the thing to think about. With the kind of money you're talking on the East Coast, you could legit invest in real estate here. You know what I mean? You could invest in commercial real estate here. Stuff's a lot more lax here. You buy 2 acres here and you decide to build another house and rent it out. It's real easy to do. It's not like
Now's the time to do it.
My partner Chris moved down to North Carolina, the legend, and his house is beautiful down there.
Yeah.
Did he move down there? Wow.
Yeah, he moved to North Carolina, yeah. So he's been down there for 2 years now. I mean, he got a monster house, just beautiful. And then Chato moved to South Carolina. He's right outside of Charleston.
Really?
Yeah, everybody's gone up here. They've left me alone with my brother.
Oklahoma City's growing. Then they just signed with some more some more bills to make it to where we're building a lot more stuff here. Like we're doing another
Yeah.
arena. Where they're doing a soccer arena as well. Film studios are coming here. It's absolutely insane. They're getting ready to be in the fourth phase of what they call the MAPS project, of just like
Get ready for June. Side note. Get ready for June. Because we're coming through
What do we got
South
in June?
Carolina, and I'm going to need you, Reef.
Oh
So-
yeah, and when,
I'm going to
just
break
let
down
me know
those
when.
dates. I'm going to expect you to be part of the crew on that. So,
Yeah, just let me know.
you know what I
I'll be
mean?
available.
How bad did I
So-
bomb when I did comedy? That's what I want to know. Like, you haven't asked me back, fool.
well, I mean, I don't think about you as no offense, right?
I
But
don't-
like, I have a
did
list of
well.
comedians that are like working, trying to get gigs and asking me, hey,
Yeah.
when's your next comedy show? And but you're more than well, dude, just jump on any show. I got a show in Enid. See, that's the thing. I don't do much like stand up anymore. I just don't. Like, I have to
Yeah.
be invited myself. Like, people are
What
like,
I need
hey,
to do is put on a comedy show and just have you put together. The
well, we're
lineup
doing
for
that.
me.
Yeah. That July is an idea there.
Yeah.
The big one with Alex and
I'm
Lila
gonna
and all
do
of
it
those
at my own
folks.
venue.
Bringing them up from Dallas, bringing some hitters up from Dallas that are national folks that we had in New York and stuff. But anyway, yeah, no, that just people know, you know what I mean. So, but yeah, Reef, think about, you know what I mean. If nothing else, man, I think we're gonna check June because me and my wife, we don't have kids ourselves, man, and Pro is trying to get us to go to Savannah, which is a beautiful city.
Beautiful, man.
So.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah, man, and we might team up over there. I just hate to leave here. There's so much going on here. I want to plant roots and some good business roots and some good land investment out here as well, because it's growing and it'll always be valuable, So, and I got family here, man. I'm from here. You know how it is.
Yeah, that's the thing. My mother and father are still here, and my brother. You met my twin brother, so
Yeah.
they got him up there too. So it's hard to leave them. That's the hardest thing, is not seeing
Yeah.
everybody.
But you got
Especially
your
when
brother
you
to
see
take care of your family, so you're good. You know what I mean? So you're not you know what I mean? You're not leaving anybody behind is the key there. You know what I mean? So that's the problem. I'm an only child. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
but I want to get we're gonna get there, man. And that's the thing. I didn't realize your boy was you have people in North and South Carolina because I'm really thinking about because Rudy, as you know, is in North Carolina, right? So I'm thinking about adding a North Carolina gig because we've got people in South Carolina already. But if I'm really thinking about basically we'll make it a 4-show run. And, for those of you that don't know, this is the idea. Drop it in the chat if you think it's a good idea. But basically, we'd be going, at that point, it would then be North Carolina, South Carolina, Savannah, and then ending with the big rager in Atlanta for the Juneteenth parade in Atlanta. Then we do a show that night there and then fly out of the Atlanta airport all back home. Except for you, who might be driving. So
that Raleigh in North Carolina, right outside of Raleigh, that area, that's pretty pumping too now.
But if you end up driving, you might just connect with Jesus, Hotep Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Shane will be driving too. So I would probably be flying out to hook up with Pro, and we drive all meet up in North Carolina, and then go South Carolina, Savannah, Atlanta, and then I'd ride with Pro back. Anyway, we'll deal with that later. Sorry, that is very boring. Wow. Guys, a tour is coming, and then 420 is a big event for Justin Christie and OKCfights.com.
I apologize. My headset died, so I'm probably going to have to go. I don't know if you
Justin,
guys
we
can
want
hear
to thank you so much. Everybody, make sure you check him out at OKCfights.com and on Facebook. What is your Facebook handle?
me.
Justin
Everything I
Christie
have is
77.
at Justin Christie official.
Oh, I'm gonna look
At
you up.
Justin Christie
Stay in touch,
official.
brother.
Yes,
That's,
and Reverend Justin Christie.
Basically, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, you name it.
Let me-
Boom. Justin Christie right there. Check it out with the lovely wife. And you are funny, man, and we're going to get you back on stage, man. In fact, if you want to come to Enid, nope. See, 420 is not going to work. That's my next show.
Yeah, everybody.
But we'll figure it out.
420, but I've got about 4 other events that my event resource company and production companies helping out with too. So we're going to be spread pretty thin on 420. But you hit me up right after that, man. We'll do some stuff.
Yeah, the plan is to do a big thing in July after this June thing I got to put together. So, all right, brother. Thank you so much for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Christie. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, all right.
Good dude. Good
And
dude.
he's got what a fun guest, Reef.
Yeah, great guest. That was great. I could talk boxing, MMA all night. Just love. I still, when
Right.
I do cardio at the gym, I put on the old Pride fights and I watch that, and I'm still reacting like, oh, or like I watch Sugar Ray fight, or I watch Mayweather's fights. I just such a
Something
great way. It's like a chess match, man.
Something we haven't talked about that actually happened when we were kicking it as a unit and together, and that is that Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, not
Like what
not-
happened, bro?
Well, what happened is he fought a fighter who's hungry, who's a lot more skilled than him. Tyson Fury didn't take him serious. You could say he didn't train for it. You could see he was out of shape for the fight. And that's what happens when you take somebody that can punch like a mule and you take him too lightly, he hits you back, and that's what you saw. And then Tyson Fury never really got back to his old ways once he got knocked out. You could tell he was a little staggered. But Joshua was there to fight, bro. Everybody thought Joshua was a very skilled fighter. You know, he's had some bad luck, but he's a super skilled fighter. And if you can get his mind right, you can still be a champion.
Well, what's disappointing, man, is that it wasn't. I mean, Francis didn't land a punch. Like that's That's the thing that nobody's really. He never even. This is a guy who went rounds, and a lot of people feel like either he won or that he at least. It would be fair to say it was close to a draw, and it was a split decision. One judge said he won a fight with Tyson Fury, bro, of all people. Right?
Yeah,
So
well,
for him to come out and look as...
You know,
Sorry,
Tyson on the back end of his career, Tyson that you can tell didn't really train for it. It's not the same Tyson Fury we saw that beat up Wilder those 3 times, and that's not. You can even see before the Wilder fight, he fought some one guy who just knocked out, who just almost stopped Deontay Wilder this time. He fought that guy. You can tell it's like he's on his back end of the career. It's just I don't even think he made over $100 million in the last 3 fights too. I don't even think he needs to fight anymore. So once you make $1 million, you know, you don't really need to fight like it's your last day. That's the problem with a lot of these fighters. And that's what you saw with Tyson Fury. He's fighting a big fight coming up next month or this month. He's fighting Usyk, who's the 2-belt champion right now. This is for the undisputed fight. The guy who wins is going to have all the belts. And this is a really good fight. Usyk is a super talented fighter. Like super talented. Another one of these Ukrainian guys came from that. What's that other boxer? I went to see him against Haney. What's his name? Haney versus I forgot his name now. But another Ukrainian guy that can dance in the ring. I mean, really like a dancer.
Yeah, no, I saw that kid. Yeah. I've seen clips of him.
I met.
Yeah,
Lomachenko.
Yeah.
They come from the same gym, same area. And these guys, they're no joke, man. And that's gonna be a big fight, big heavyweight fight.
That's cool. Who you got with because it's coming up, and I might not talk to you live since then. Who you got for UFC 300? First, we'll go headlining match, which is that Alex Pereira monster versus the dude who had the belt. I need to look this up, but he dropped it. So because he got injured, which all respect.
Hill.
You know what I'm
He's fighting
saying?
Hill, right? Isn't he fighting Hill?
Yeah, Hill. Yeah.
Jamil Hill. I think
Jamal Hill. Yeah. Yes.
I think Pereira is going to win this fight.
Oh, sorry. Let me share this. You think Pereira's got it just because of ring rust or what?
Yeah, I think ring rust. He's just a better fighter altogether. To be honest with you,
that is
I
fair.
think so. He's just a monster, different type of fighter, aggressive, precision. You know, just not this Jamal Hill. Still, he's a bro. These are world class fighters. That's the thing. You never know with MMA. Like this guy can just have his day. These guys are world class strikers, both of them.
Yeah, odds makers are agreeing with you, but not a lot. Not by a whole lot, but that is a close one there. Then you got Wei Li versus.
If you're gonna bet, I'll throw for the degenerates. I would throw probably a bet on Jamal Hill for a knockout.
Because if he's gonna win by not. But see, I would.
And it'll pay out really well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. More what'll pay you bang for your buck than actual who's gonna win.
Right. Let's see here. See, that 9-2-0 is this is what I hate is that's 9-2-0 in professional MMA. And people don't understand he's been a world-class Muay Thai and kickboxing champion.
Kickboxing like legend.
Yeah, legend. Yeah. So when you see 9-2-0 you're like, but people have no freaking clue. You know what I mean? So Jamal Hill even though he looks like it, he's by far the less experienced. The less experienced fighter.
This guy's been doing
So
it for like 20 years.
yeah. Does it have their age here? No, it doesn't. But
Yeah, he's been
anyway, so
a lot
yeah,
longer.
look at that same reach. These
Yeah.
guys are almost identical, bro, in body shape and all of that. And so
6'4".
that's
These guys are
yeah.
monsters, bro.
Yeah, I know, beasts. So anyway, then these ladies are even two Chinese. That's brilliant, by the way, marketing, getting to
Oh,
that
yeah.
Chinese market. That's the whole reason they're doing that. You know what I mean? He's like, I want that Chinese
Oh,
market,
hell
son.
yeah. Of
So-
course. And she's a monster too. You're saying Wing. Whatever
Yeah.
her name is.
She is for
Jane Welly,
for
whatever.
straw weight, yes. This one is gonna be interesting.
This one's a fun one.
Here's the thing, man, and look at that. Look at that. 25-7-0, 26-4-0. These guys are Iron Men. You know what I mean? These guys have done it. You know what I mean? They have won 25 times. They have won 25 times in a professional freaking ring with another man trying to murder them standing across for them. That's next level. They're both
Gaethje has
5'11".
highlight reel knockouts, like absolute, like, you know, you talk about that
Yep.
viral punch that you were talking about before. He's got like 8 of those.
Real on real on real,
Yeah.
exactly. So let's see here. So 5'11", but that's interesting. 156 and 162. I guess that's current weight because he's going to have to get down. You know what? He's not going to be able to fight at 162.
No, I
So
don't
he's
think
going to be 156 as well.
This is
So
catch weight, right? Is this catch weight, if I'm not mistaken?
I
There's
don't
not a-
know.
I don't think it has a lightweight belt, but I think they have a catch weight on them. It's not like official, like it's not an official fight in the division.
Yeah, they don't
If I'm
have that
thinking,
locked
I don't
in
know.
yet.
But I got Gaethje here, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Max
I
has-
kind of agree. Yeah, I just think Gaethje wants it more, and Gaethje's hotter right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Max
He
fought
keep playing,
recently.
man.
Yeah, Max fought recently, but he didn't fight the level of fighter that Gaethje has fought recently. He didn't fight Homeboy recently. You know
I
what I
just
mean?
think,
Dustin is
like,
one of the best.
Maxwell's
ever.
gonna have to constantly put a lot of volume out, and Gaethje can just knock you out with one punch. It's just for him to be, he's
Okay.
got to be super aggressive, and Gaethje's gonna just counter.
This is going to be an interesting one. Boom!
Another one of these Armenian, these
Wow.
monsters.
I am surprised that Armin is the odds there. He's the one that's like freaking. Oh, sorry. There it went. Wow. Oh, wow. He's the favorite against Charles Oliveira, bro.
Yep.
Wow. I was not expecting that.
Charles
see
was a
here.
little bad his last couple fights. That's why this guy's
Yeah.
This kid's a monster too.
Dubronx is getting older. That's for
Yeah,
sure. So
That's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Wow.
A lot of miles.
So,
Yeah, this
let's
is gonna be
see
another
here.
good fight.
he looks thicker too, and he's just younger, man. It's the fight game.
Yep.
That's a big that's a big one, man. That's going to get tighter, I think, closer to the
Yeah.
fight. So
Put in the bet now. Put in the bet now.
look at that odds.
Wow.
That's a
Cody
brutal
won.
odds.
This kid's a
Poor
monster.
Cody.
right here.
Oh, poor Cody. That's not fair. You know what I mean?
No.
Look at that.
This is a gimme fight. Put this in your parlay.
Dude, if I was Bo Nickel, I'd put 10 grand on Cody Brundage, knockout in the second, and just, you know what I mean, take the dive. I wouldn't have to ever worry about shit again the rest of my
I
life.
wonder when the fighters see the odds, does it change the way they fight? I'm always interested. I need to find the fight. I got to question that.
I wonder. 5-0.
Right? It would have to. If you
10-5.
think about it, if you're a fighter and you're like, oh man, I'm like plus 800 right now. You're probably thinking in your head, Vegas thinks so. I can take this guy, no problem.
That doesn't make sense to me, bro. Where'd it go? There's Davidson. Hold on, where'd it go? There he is. That's some really big odds there, dude.
Dude, this guy's minus 1350. Who's this guy? What's he fighting at the Dunkin' Donuts over here?
That's a lot. That's a huge swing. Look, 172.05. That's the biggest other swing. You know what I mean? That's not 100. They're dead even.
Yeah.
They're less than 100, and then you got 1350 and a plus 800. Good lord,
Yeah.
dude. That's
cool.
gotta change, man. I understand Cody Brundage is no Bo Nickel, and everybody's super high on him. So Yuri is fighting in the freaking prelims.
Bro, you got Aljamain Sterling too. Oh shit.
In the prelims, the number
This is
2
his
ranked.
next- he just lost the championship. Like literally one fight ago.
He's giving Calvin Kattar a chance, I guess. I want to see Holly Holm fight Kayla Harrison. That's going to be a good one. I think Holly's going to lose. So anyway, let's go back. I'm not calling it, actually. I'm going to call Alex Pereira as well on this one. I'm going to call Zhang to keep the title on that one. Justin on that one. You stop me when you disagree, right?
Yeah, so far I'm with you.
I'm.
This is a tough one, but I would go with Armin too.
I would go with Armin initially, but I feel like Charles understands. Like this will be kind of no. I disagree because he refused to fight Homeboy. He refused to fight the champ, Islam Makhachev. He refused to fight him. He's like, I don't want to fight him. He refused to fight him. I think because he's scared of him. He refused to fight him 3 different times. He's like, I'm not fighting him. Then the fight came and he, quote unquote, got injured and didn't fight him after he told us 3 different times he wasn't going to fight him. So what's his name? You know, Homeboy, my favorite, what's his name? Little bald Australian dude. Yeah, Volk stepped in short notice. Yeah. But Charles, man, I think Charles, I think he's done. So I got to go with Armin there as well. Of course, Bo Nickel, it would be silly to go Cody Brundage. I think he's a tomato can. He's literally, you know, the pro wrestling's version of Steve fighting Hulk Hogan. It's like you go to the local dark match. It's like Steve.
What was that guy's name? The Car Reaper or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The Jobber.
Cody's totally a can to build Bo Nickel. And my theory is to build Bo Nickel for a fight against Sean Strickland. So you got, you know, that's going to be the thing there. Yuri and Alexander Raychik. I want Yuri to win. I just want Yuri to win.
I like Yuri because of his hair, but Raychik's good too. But Serbians, I'm Albanian. I can't, you know. Serbians and Albanian have bad blood, so I can't go Serbian.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Albanians.
Shout out about Benny. I still think, and I think Yuri's got something to really prove after his last fight. I think Yuri is like on a. I think
he didn't
Yuri's
look good
focused.
in his last fight.
Yeah. Of course, it would be silly to
Look
not.
at this. This is a crazy fight. I can't believe this is the second fight.
Yeah.
Not even the main event. This guy just lost his title to Sean O'Malley.
Yeah. And the main event of the prelims. No, it's the second card of the pre. Anyway, I'm going with Aljamain.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to go Aljamain.
Calvin is clearly a tomato can to get Aljamain back in the running because I think he can beat Sean. I was surprised when he lost to him, and I think he'll come back. Yeah, man.
He looked hurt. To be honest, he looked different. He looked flat. He looked hurt. I didn't think he was there. He was all there.
Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. I got to go Kayla, even though I love Holly.
My boy Legend got married the same weekend Holly Holm kicked Ronda Rousey in the head.
Boom.
Legend in Miami. We still remember that day.
Okay, so if Kayla wins, it'll be by knockout, I think, or brutal beatdown, and Holly will just hang in there for it. And if Holly wins, it will be a decision because she's a boxer who'll try to piece her up. So
even odds. All right. Sadiq,
and
I like here.
Sadiq Youssef, Nigeria, the Nigerian Nightmare versus Diego Lopez. Odds are for Diego, and I got to go with Diego. I think he's been killing it lately, dog.
Yeah, I'll take Sadiq on this one. I think there's a toss-up too, though.
All right, fair enough. Bro, thank you so much, man.
Beautiful.
Tell the people where they can find you. What's going on with your show? I know sometimes you release a little different times and stuff, so how do we find it? Where's the best place to subscribe and look for it? All of that goodness.
We are on YouTube, Rumble, the Haram Life Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, the Haram Life Podcast. We're on the first and last Wednesday of every month at 9 p.m. on Twitter and Rumble and YouTube, all the socials you can think of. We do our live show at 9 p.m. We're live, unscripted, unedited, and it's me, my boy Legend, and my boy Chato, and we just have a nice little. We kick back. We don't have too much. We have a lot of fun. We don't take it too serious, and you can go see us every first and last Wednesday of every month.
I love it. Let's hit this one real fast. What is this one we got here?
And to be honest,
I've been there.
There's no reason to be scared. If you're feeling someone and she's feeling you and she's not comfortable with these relationships, she should respect the fact that, hey, listen, I'm going to let them know why I'm deleting them. That's the right thing to do. Why would you play this role where you're just going to delete them? And then
it's early in life.
Because most guys that do that too.
See that.
As soon as shit doesn't work out with them, they're going to throw you under the bus and say, hey, sorry, she's fucking crazy. She went into my page. She deleted
we interviewed
blah, blah, blah.
OnlyFans models.
Nice. Oh, is that what that is?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Man, I was just hitting your shorts up, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I just saw she's effing crazy. Oh, that's enough of that right there. That's HJ. Sorry. Love the HJ. So this is the latest one. Who is
Jews
this
are
lady?
great matchmakers. They're the type that goes, you know who I would like? Yeah, little Moisha's sister would be great with this guy. Like, they love doing that shit, that whole matchmaking stuff.
The pushiness. It's the pushiness.
Yeah. Albanians do that too, where they try to set up with each other, and they're really pushy about it. Like, what do you don't like my daughter? You don't like my cousin? What happened? I introduced you to my cousin. You don't like her?
I feel like that's what it is.
Personal offense.
Albanians. Once they find out you guys aren't related, they try to make a relationship out of you guys.
Some of them, they don't care if they're related.
Yeah, I know a few that don't care.
They try to count how many cousins away they are. Fucking
Yeah.
disgrat.
What is it? Three and good?
Second cousin's not too bad.
Hey, that's strange.
Shut up.
Bro,
That's what they say.
Yeah. Bro,
That
you
sounded
said
like
that
such a
way too
personal
quick,
attack
bro.
on yourself.
No, the Albanians, bro, that I knew in high school, some of them,
Well, I don't know about that.
some of them are
No
like,
way.
if anyone's fucking my cousin, it's me.
Yeah.
Like,
Jews are great matchmakers. They're the type that goes.
All right. Let me shut it down. As you guys can see, if you're watching, this is the Haram Life podcast is the show to watch. Just set your notifications. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You don't need to watch it
like-
exactly live. You know what I mean? It's the future, baby. This ain't old school TV. People get in that old school TV. We're not 200 years old. You don't have to wait till, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Standard to watch it. If you don't watch it live, it's still there and it's still beautiful at midnight, on the way to work in the morning, on the way home. You know what I mean? You like to sit back, roll a blunt, chill in your easy chair. You know what I mean? Pop on the Haram Life podcast. It's good for that. It's good for all of them things.
It's great, but we love the chat. The chat is fun. When the chat's popping, the show is so much better. It's always when we get a nice group of people in the chat. We had one night you and Pro were in there. We had almost 30 people for the first time in the chat. We were so excited because the chat was popping that night.
Man, let us know. Are you going live tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We go a little
Cool,
late.
man.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
cool.
be there.
Big
Yeah.
shout outs for my birthday. Send me super chats. I love it.
Yeah, we'll send you some. I'll open up your Cash App. I'll send you some.
I love it. That's cool to tell Jabari to send me a refund for that fish. I'm kidding. The fish was amazing, Jabari. We love you. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. This has been another episode. This is the Dirty 30. I've made it 30, bro. You know what's funny? This show right here is everything. Everything I'm doing now, everything we're working on, everything I'm working on with every name I would drop that you know personally because we're boys. All of that started from this and a dream. You know what I mean? Like literally, I'm talking an old Google laptop. You know what I'm saying? And a belief that we could do it. And here I am. You know what I'm saying? Birthday tomorrow, Dirty 30 podcast with my boy Reef all the way in New York. All because, man, that's the thing. You if you believe in yourself and you truly believe you've got the skills to get this done, you should do it. Because maybe it doesn't manifest itself necessarily because all of a sudden you have 1 million viewers, but you're going to build relationships and you're going to have opportunities and you're going to meet people and you're going to be able to build communities and they're going to support you and you're going to support them. And there are so many blessings, bro, from this. And I would have never, ever, I wouldn't have listened to Hotep Jesus if I wasn't trying to have a better podcast and get other ideas, right? Yeah, it was because I listened to him and then jump in that chat, found you and Pro, you know what I mean? And then from what I did before, all of that. So once again, man, hell yeah, bro, we're doing it. So Dirty 30, I want to thank you, my man Reef.
Happy birthday. Enjoy your day tomorrow. Amy,
Absolutely.
take care, man. Take care of this, man.
She will. She's actually doing the kids thing. They got a whole thing till 9 tonight, so I got out of that.
Okay.
So, because I had to work.
Yeah, this is work.
Bro, hard work, bro. You don't even know, you Union New York guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know. I work midnight to 4 p.m. I
Nice.
don't do anywhere. It's 16-hour shift.
So since I might be, I'll drop in. Like I said, tomorrow night's going to be movie night. Like I said, I got to catch John Wick 4, maybe Top Gun. I'm going to eat like 20 wings, going in on the wings. So, yeah, but I will drop in and say what's up. But everybody, make sure you check out the Haram Life podcast. And thank you, my brother. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and we are out. Thank you guys for listening. Good night.
Peace.